people obsess because people obsess in America, in the world, over accumulating money. And they think that cash accumulation is the primary objective of cash. But I submit to you that it's not. So people who are wealthy understand that cash accumulation is not the primary purpose of wealth. I'm going to get into that in a minute. So what happens is this is your what I call your IPA window. This is your WRL window, and this is your outgo window. So most people, poor people, their cash comes in. This is what happens with poor people. Their money comes into their house, and then it goes out the outgo window in the form of bills. Because poor people think the primary purpose of this is to pay for this. Oops. Is to pay bills, right? So poor people, they hyper-obsess on bills, and they hyper-obsess on income so that they can pay those bills. Because if they don't pay those bills, they're going to get phone calls they don't want to receive. Like, they're going to lose things that they desire to have. And so, like, you may be able to relate to this, maybe not, but you're like, okay, do I pay my water bill this month or my electric bill this month? And maybe none of you have ever been there, but I've been there. That's where I used to live at the end of, am I going to pay my water bill this month or my electric bill this month street, right? And so, okay, are we going to pay the car insurance or are we going to pay our gas bill? Like, and when I say gas, I'm talking about gas for the house, right? So it's like when you hyper focus on bills, the focus on bills, your focus on this is what makes you poor. It's like thinking that this is the primary purpose of money is what makes you poor, right? Now, middle class people, what they do is they pay their bills on time so they can maintain good credit. So they use debt. And WRL stands for wealth reducing liabilities. So they take some of their money, they borrow money, and then they pay their debts. And so their money comes in through their job, and then it comes down through the debt window, and then through the outgo window, and then out in the form of bills again. But they focus, this is the primary window focus of the middle class people, right? And what a lot of people do is they say, well, if I could just make this window bigger, if I could just get more income for the amount of time that I worked, if I get paid a higher dollar an hour. So I was making $15 an hour. So now if I can make $35 an hour, my life is going to get better. Well, it is going to get incrementally better, but it's not going to get exponentially better, right? Or if I can make $50 an hour or $75 an hour or $100 an hour. And most people who are making $25 an hour right now, they think, man, if I could make $100 an hour, I'd be in the catbird seat for the rest of my life. Catbird seat, Texas colloquialism, very good spot. Okay, so rich people understand that this is the window that makes you wealthy. Income producing assets. You take some of your money, you take some of your time, and you put it in here. This is where we put that. And when we do this, when you take some of your money and some of your time and put it in here, in the beginning, it produces nothing. And this is why most people never do it. Because when you first start, it's like you can't really ever start making a lot of money until you learn how to stop working for money. And that doesn't mean you stop working, you quit your job because you stop working for money. It means you work on things that don't pay you in the beginning. Because a part of wealth creation, a big part of wealth creation, is delayed gratification. You have to put off things you desire to do now, and you have to sacrifice some of the things you want to do now on the altar of things you want to do in the future. What most people do is they do the exact opposite. They sacrifice the long term on the altar of the short term. When making your life better in any arena, you sacrifice the short term on the altar of the long term. It doesn't matter if you want to learn a new skill. It doesn't matter if you want to acquire wealth. It doesn't matter if you want to develop a new physical experience of life, like you want to have more energy and have more health and vitality in your body. It doesn't matter. It always goes down to the same thing. Valuing the long term over the short term. Why? Because eternity is more real than time. Because spirituality is more real than physicality. Because that's what it's a picture of. Like, this is bigger than just a conversation about money. This is a conversation about how life works. And so what happens when you take some of your money and some of your time and you put it in here, in the beginning it does nothing. Then it produces a little bit of money. And then it produces a little more. And then it produces a little more. And then it produces a little more. And this window, as you begin to fill it up with assets, or the assets begin to be more productive and produce more wealth, what happens is this window now starts putting some money back into this window. right? And so now you have this thing where the money's coming in, but it's coming back. Then eventually, when you get to this point, you get to the point where this window, this income that you're making, now the income producing asset window now pays for your bills. So all of your bills, imagine if you had assets that could pay for all of your bills. For instance, I'm going to take this book. I'm going to take this book right here. This book right here generates between $7,000 and $18,000 a month. I wrote this book in 2006, right? Literally, all of my personal bills could be paid for with this one asset. I wrote the book one time. I put this book, boom, in that window. And every month, month after month after month after month after month after month, whether I go get it or not, this is income that comes in from my income producing asset window every month from this book. My other book, Boss Moves, I wrote that book in 2021. That book generates between $35,000 and $70,000 a month. I'm not, oh, you're so rich and wonderful. That has nothing to do with it. I have an income producing asset window that has assets in it that income can follow. If you're struggling financially right now, it's because you have no assets and you are an asset. Like your work and your time is your only asset. And if that's all you have, for now, that's fine. But man, if you know this now and you keep on living in 5 years from now, that's still all you have, maybe that's a problem. And so, eventually, this window in your house gets so big, you don't need this anymore. Eventually, this window in your house gets so big, not only does it pay for this, not only does it put money over here, but it also pays for your wealth-reducing liabilities. It changes the game forever. Like, when I think about money, this is how I think about it. When I get $1, I don't think, oh, what can I go buy? Like, what can I go buy? What bill can I pay? No, the first thing I think when I get some money is, okay, what can I use this to, what can I use this money for to acquire or enhance an asset that will produce more money? How can I turn this money into more money? That's my first question. Some of you watching this video right now, it's not your first question, not your second question, not your third question, not your fourth question. In fact, it's not even a question on your question list.